Hello again. I know that I talked a little about the book Brilliant Black British History the other day, but this really is such a fascinating and misleading book that I think it deserves a little more attention. Literally every aspect of British history seems to hinge around black people. The First World War? Let's see. On page 79 we read that in 1914 Europe exploded into a war over colonies. Never mind the assassination of Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo. That was a minor detail. It was the colonies which were the main reason for the war. During the Second World War, we are told on page 83 that bombs were dropped on British cities and thousands of people were killed. Children, black and white, were sent to live in the countryside. Has anybody seen photographs of black children evacuees from the Second World War in this country? British women of all colours worked together in factories, farms, hospitals and war offices. I don't know why she decided there was more than one war office in the Second World War. Has anybody ever seen any pictures of land girls who were not white? No? Black soldiers, black doctors, black farmers, black spies, black inventors. So many black Caribbean and black African people helped Britain to keep its freedom by winning the wars. This actually made me laugh when I first read it, laugh out loud I mean. Does anybody seriously think that there were black farmers in this country during either the First or Second World War? This particular book is a #1 bestseller on Amazon at the moment, and I give a link to it in the description to this video. I have to say that I've gained great enjoyment from reading it, and I think we'll be hearing more about it next month when Black History Month kicks off in Britain. The problem is, though, that it is now being bought wholesale by children's libraries and schools. Many primary school teachers are not very well informed about history, and I don't suppose that they will know that this is largely a work of fantasy. In effect, children in this country are going to have this book represented to them as history, which isn't really funny. Let me finish with one last bit which really is dangerously inaccurate and likely to stir up racial hatred. On page 116 we are told that in 1993 a British teenager called Stephen Lawrence was murdered just because he was black. True. When the police did not send the murderers to prison, his mother Doreen Lawrence did. She proved in court who had done it and that the police had not done their job properly because they were racist. This is completely false. I will leave the idea of the police sending people to prison to one side. That may be how the judicial system works in Nigeria, where the author comes from, but it's not really how we do things in this country. We have courts and so on. It is perfectly true that Doreen Lawrence took out a private prosecution against some young men for the murder of her son, and that as a result they were tried at the Old Bailey in 1996 and acquitted. The trial judge said that there was simply no evidence. They were later tried again and convicted of murder. That prosecution, though, was a result of a new police investigation. To claim that Doreen Lawrence proved in court who had done it is a lie. I'm bound to say that I found at least one definite falsehood on every page of this dreadful book, but that is seemingly not enough to prevent it from being a bestseller.